of Sound. We're hanging out at KNOTFEST 2025. G'day, Jeremy McKinnon from A Day to Remember.
How's it going?
Mate, I'm bloody brilliant. You're back here again and we're sharing beard talk. Like,
true.
Look at that salt and pepper coming through, mate.
It's coming through, slowly but surely.
I mean, just like the presence that the band has had and your longevity in this scene as well, too, after all this time, people are still turning out and giving you grey hairs when you get on that stage.
Yes. You know, that wasn't the plan originally. You know, we anticipated just putting out some music and seeing our country all the way around, and to be a part of the music scene 20 years in is crazy. So
yeah. And
thankful to be here.
The legacy that you've got and everything you've done so far, we can talk about where you've come from and where you're going, but what I want to talk about is the now and the pioneering of this new way forward. Obviously, we know everyone gets their music, consumes it by streaming. A Day to Remember out of nowhere surprised the fuck out of everyone. Launch your album, put the physicals out a month before it hits streaming.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well done. That's such a
Thank you.
fucking great thing that's going to not only change the industry, but work in the favor of bands.
We hope so. I mean, honestly, more than anything, you know, we thought it was cool to just do something different than everybody anticipates, you know, like we've been a band a long time now, and it was more important, especially since it took a while. We'd been, you know, we hadn't been sharing any news because we didn't want to get people's hopes up. We're notorious for like stringing people along over the years, and people get annoyed by that. So, you know, we wanted to try something a little different this time. You know, it's like, how can we do this surprise thing that gets everybody excited, but make it feel different than we just throw it up on streaming and then it just does what it does, and the day moves on and the next band puts out the next thing. How can we really make it like a special thing? And the idea got brought up to just put it out on physical first because we had the vinyl done. We had it just sitting in a warehouse somewhere for months, and it's like, what? The little funny video we made really was the conversation, kind of. Yeah. Was like, why don't we just put out the vinyl since it's made, and then just pop the music out a month later and just see what happens, just to get people talking, get people excited. And it was really cool to see when we reached out to all the retail stores and the mom and pop places. These people were so excited to be a part of this, because they went from being the first place that people would go to now streaming is the first place that people go. So they just don't get that attention anymore. And when we asked to do these things with them, people were going above and beyond, trying to do anything they could to make it easier and to be a part of it. So it was just cool. You know, it was kind of like a happy accident the way it all went down, but we've been really happy with the way it turned out. And
look, the reception's been great so far. Plus, you get to go out and you get to do the signings and meet the fans again. It brings back a lot of, like, the early years, like, you know, back in Homesick, where you go out and meet fans, tour, sign stuff and all that. I mean, 20 years in the industry, the only thing that's changed is parents are now bringing their kids along to A Day to Remember show. So that must be strange, looking out and seeing all the young kids singing along the words and their parents right underneath them.
It's cool, man. That's been happening more and more these days, and it reminds me of like Blink-182. Like, you know, they took us on tour in the United States, and there was a lot of that. You could tell like parents grew up playing it for their kids, and now their kids are like adult age and they were still coming together. They had their families. So the idea that we have like a whole new generation coming up that's growing up with us is crazy. Like it's I said, mental, it truly is. Like we never thought we'd get past a few albums, much less 20 years. So it's just cool, man.
Well, it shows the emotional connection that you've got and what you've lasted from those early years to where you are now. One thing that's always been prevalent with A Day to Remember that divides the scene is the fact that people always say that, you know, you've gone soft or you were heavy or whatever. But this is the thing. When you came out, you were like Blink with breakdowns. That's probably the best way to explain it. So you dabbled in both realms and you never released a fully heavy album.
Yeah. You know, I think it's more our fault than anybody else's, because it's like we've always been a band that kind of catered to multiple genres at one time. So we could go on like a heavy tour. I always use Parkway and the Acacia Strain the first time we came over here as an example of we fit right in on that tour, and a band that plays pop punk couldn't. You know what I mean? So we're this weird in-between band where we can play to both crowds. But there are definitely people that only like us for that one sound that we did, or like that one song that they liked. And I can understand why, if you liked that from us, you want us to only do the thing you liked. But, you know, A Day to Remember is a little bit more than that. So we kind of, there's a portion of the fan base that isn't catered to as much as they would like.
Yeah.
As normal bands do, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because normal bands are just like, this is our sound and that's it.
Yeah.
So I get it.
But the thing is, like, when you're putting on these shows, you want to have moments where, because you're getting older, let's face it, we're all getting fucking older. We all can't pit like we used to 20 years ago. And you want to have the moments in the set where you slow things down and you can catch your breath and everyone can sing along and have those melodic moments, sticking their arm around the shoulders and being like, this is bringing back all those memories again. And then you fuck people up with feedback or one of the new ones.
Yeah, man. It's nice to have something different to throw. You'll see it tonight. Like there's just like there's a nice balance, in my opinion. I'm a little biased.
Yeah,
but
as you should be, because you're brilliant. Yep.
Thank you. But I think there's a good balance. Like there's a real roller coaster we take you on that I think makes it entertaining the whole time instead of just feeling like the same song over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, you could play The Downfall of Us All like 50 times and we would still love it, but you want to be able to...
We haven't done that yet, but I do think it's hilarious when bands play the same song multiple times, especially when they do it back to back to back.
Well, Limp Bizkit were here for Good Things, which you've played as well. Yep. They did break stuff at the start and then break stuff at the end. So consider something like that in future, Jeremy.
That's pretty good. I remember, you remember that band, He Is Legend?
He Is Legend, yep.
Yeah, we loved He Is Legend. And when the guys went and saw them for the first time, they said that they played I Am Hollywood like 4 times in a row or something like that. And I was like, what a ballsy move. And that's kind of amazing. Like, I love just the energy of that and how fun that would be in the moment.
Well, anything's possible now that you're back.
You never know. We gotta shake it up some way.
Yeah. Now, Big Ole Album, Volume 1 obviously implies that there's a Volume 2 on the way. Mm-hmm. What is happening in the scene right now that I'm noticing is people are questioning what's going on with the album cover. You've got throwbacks to the scene, Cody from Wage War, Ollie from Bring Me the Horizon. Is that intentional or is that like the cameos in All I Want? So
it's similar to that. We have pretty much everybody you see was a part of the creation in some way. They worked on it, or they wrote with us, or some are like a guest vocal spot. We'll see what happens as it rolls out. But yeah, so pretty much everybody that's on there worked on it some way, shape, or form, and that's why they're on there.
Yep. So if you haven't bought the album, buy it now so you can get a better understanding of it, essentially.
Yeah, for sure.
This is why I should work in marketing with you. Now, over the years, you've become a dad, and I've wanted to have this dad chat with you for a while now. Your antics from back in the day have sort of subsided. You're fitting into dad territory now. Does your daughter come on tour and go, Dad, I don't give a fuck about you being a rock star. You're just dad to me. Stop being lame.
Well, they're still pretty young. So we've got a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Yep, congrats.
About to be 4. So when they come out, they're still very excited. They think it's super cool. And, we let them come out and throw toilet paper and stuff, and they think it's the coolest thing ever. So they're not quite old enough to be like, you're lame.
Yeah.
So the vibe is still very much a cool experience for them currently, but I'll have to get back to you when they get the age that they're over it.
All right, so A Day to Remember's 30th anniversary tour, they'll be sitting there going, I'm sitting at home, Dad, I don't want to come.
Probably. That's probably going to be around the time.
All right, the future's looking bright for A Day to Remember. We're glad to have you back in Australia again. Before we wrap things up, my baby mama, my ex-girlfriend, who, we had a beautiful son together. His name's Winston. Mm-hmm. You're a favourite band. Every time you've come to Australia, something has happened with the kid. She's not been able to make it. Yeah. She's out there. She's going to mosh today.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're going to the sideshow tomorrow. So I don't want to wrap this up. I just want you to say something nice to get me in the good books and then hopefully make, our life better than what it is. And saying that, it's not bad. It's not bad. I give you that.
No, I understand how it goes. Like, I know every time you want to do something or you got something planned, like a kid will get sick or something. So correct. I completely understand how it goes. And we're so happy you can make it to this one. Hopefully we don't let you down. Have a good time. And if we screwed up tonight, you can always see us at the sideshow.
The sideshow. And if you stuff it up there, then we'll just do a custody battle.
2 shows in a row, we got to figure it out somewhere in between there. So,
Jeremy, it's an honour. Thank you very much for coming back to Australia.
Thank you for having us.
Love everything you do. This is Wall of Sound at KNOTFEST.